The Rook is a type of corvidae that is solitude most of the day, but is convivial in the night. It's often misunderstood, seen as a bad omen, when in reality, it does bring wisdom. The Rook is also a significant piece in chess. It's usually the one that's forward, when the queen can't, because the king can't even defend himself anyway. When I had this idea to do a podcast, occult related, it was inspired by you guys from Kitchen Occultist that liked my sit and talk videos, but because it's so difficult for me to find time and peace and quiet due to my lifestyle and circumstances, it became very difficult for me to pump out the type of content that I genuinely want to. And I also really enjoy just sitting and talking sometimes and not just teaching and showing something. Even though these communities are small compared to other ones, I get so much support. I've gotten more support than I've ever gotten in my life. And I've gotten support, but I mean it being okay to be fucked up and not being treated like it's an inconvenience. Not feeling completely crazy because everybody's convincing each other that you're lying about everything. I had a really interesting astral experience. I mentioned it in the video I previously filmed about psychedelics, where Belial took me down this funnel, like a drain, to the underworld, and I ended up in an abandoned asylum. I was wearing a black, old tapered night dress, like a hospital gown, and to the left of me was a wall, and the wall seemed tobacco stained in color, but it didn't smell like it. There were medical beds that looked a bit like from the 1930s, asylum style. And Belial was in shadow form, and I was confused. Why isn't he showing his face? I know his aspects that I see, and I just couldn't make it out, but I knew it was him. To my right, I saw the exoskeleton, sort of, lack of a better term, of a bee, which is Beelzebub. I knew it was his energy, and he was glowing and golden and like tiger's eye, and just, it was a peaceful energy. I was barefoot, and I was just trying to figure out why am I dressed like this in the underworld. The linoleum, which seemed like a linoleum, but it wasn't, like amber colored, like boomer 70s sort of, or mid-century sort of linoleum you'd find, like those orange sort of tiles with a brown flower in them, but a bit more detailed, and the energy felt like it was made of like a crystal, like maybe like a tiger's eye or something. I just had a lot of those spectrums of like a tiger's eye crystal in this experience. It wasn't a dream or a vision. I was there astrally. So anyways, today I felt very tired, and I had a really good day. I had a busy and a little hectic day, but a really good day. And in the evening after dinner, I did lots of editing. I got to do filming. I got to spend quality time with all of the kids, as I really make an effort to make sure all 4 of them get individual time with me, and we talk about astrology all morning. It was a really great day. My husband's always happy to come home and see everybody. He's never like grumpy, you know? And in the evening, my husband and I were in the room. We were winding one of the babies down. And I said, I want to do a reading. He was asking about this trip because I mentioned it to him before work. And I said, I'm going to do a reading with Belial and see what this was about, because it's just been on my mind, and I can't make sense of the almost modern aspects that I experience in the underworld. It's not just magical crystals and caves and fire. So I'm very curious when that happens. So I pulled some tarot cards. 3 of them. The Temperance upright, the 5 of Cups upright, and Justice upright. It really felt like it was about me facing the shit that comes up in shadow work. The past few months have really been the first time that I have been facing trauma and feeling the feelings like I did. And I break down and cry, and I'm angry because I don't want to think of this shit. I forgive the people. I understand that they were broken. I have my boundaries and I have peace. Why is this happening? I ask for a clarification. I get the 6 of Swords in reverse. And then I get a flashback. I got a CPTSD episode. They don't happen often, and they're not as cinematic as like movies make it seem. But lots of terrible things have happened to me, man. And I've always been like, fuck it. Whatever. I'm not going to go into detail. I don't feel the need to. But I was like, why is this happening? Why do I gotta relive that? I felt so powerless. I didn't do anything to deserve those things. And I just crying, but mentally I was fine. That's the thing. Emotionally, he makes you purge. And here's why. At the end of my first year working with Belial very closely, I felt such a genuine bond. Like really a genuine bond. And it's not something you can deny, because you can try not to think about this stuff, but they'll eventually show up in your dreams and let you know they miss you. Especially if you have work to do. And Belial's definitely that bitch. So I made a pact with him for a specific amount of money. And I told him I'm willing to go to hell for my children. And I meant that metaphorically. I meant that literally. I meant I'm willing to do what it takes to walk through the fire I gotta walk through. I meant it in whatever way, because I trusted it wouldn't be misconstrued and me fucked over. And Belial gives this kind of like side smirk, but it's a sincere one. It's not like, okay, gonna trick you. It's like, okay, you're gonna have to go through hell then for your kids. Shadow work. So tonight I was breaking down during this reading, and I wanted to film it too, because not to babble and, oh, look at me guys. I get so many fucking heavy messages. I get more interaction through my DMs than any comment section, and I feel obligated to. But it's an obligation as it feels aligned. It's not about me. I can't relate to this shit. Ego, I just don't. I'm so numb, I don't care. But for fuck's sakes, man, you guys are going through some shit too. And I'm gonna show. I guess I'm gonna broadcast what it's like when the devil puts you through hell. So that's why I've been talking about this shit. I thought when I made this podcast, I had this vision I was going to be talking about ghost stories and dressing in my witchy attire, especially since it's like winter now. And here in Brisbane, Australia, it's beautiful and I love sunny weather, but it's hard to feel witchy and Stevie Nicks vibes and goth girl, weird girl vibes when it's like humid all the time and super hot. So this time of year I look forward to it because the winters are pretty mild. They're still chilly, but I can dress up and be fun and supers. Yeah, and I just looked forward to that because central air conditioning doesn't exist in a lot of parts here. So, that's how the world is. Us spoiled Americans. And I'm okay with that. But it's hot as fuck in the summertime in my office. And right now it's a great time to be in here because I'd rather be cold than sweating on camera. And so those are my visions. I'm going to talk about my ghost stories and my stories about demons and all of these interesting experiences I've had. And I have people in my personal life that want to come on and hang out too. I've got a few people and I'm, gosh, what is this going to turn into? But now it's all fucking deep, isn't it? Every fucking video, every video, I think I want to make it lighten up because I do not want anybody feeling sorry for me. This isn't like traumadumpcenter.com. I just have to fucking talk about it. It's not even talk therapy for me. Like, I thought I healed from this shit. I'd gone to therapy. I did all this shit. This is what hell is. He pulls out, the devil collective, your own personal hell. Whoever planted it there, whoever planted that seed, it could have been you. We could, we do it to ourselves too. And boy, it fucking hurts when it comes out. And every time one thing comes out, though, I purge it. I purge the 25 years of fucking holding it in the back of my subconscious. And I cry so much, but I'm cool. Like, I'm chill. I'm not like sniveling and bubbling. I'm like, tears are falling. I'm feeling the emotions, but I'm also like outside of it. Because I'm okay, because I don't want to fucking off myself when I want, I don't snap when somebody threatens me and fucking want to go for the fucking jugular. It sucks being like that. It's hard. And I told the devil, I said, I'm willing to go through hell, because if I don't, they're going to have to fucking go through it. I don't want to die of disappointment. To them, to anybody else, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I've made peace because I'm always going to be a disappointment no matter what. It's cool. I own it. But to my kids, they've done nothing, but they're the only beings that have given me unconditional love, and I don't deserve it, I feel, and I owe them. There's no guilt in it. This path is amazing. I get to be the version of myself I've always known I was supposed to be, and I don't want to withhold power over anybody. I just want to be free and have my space. That's it. But I'm not going to be silent, stuffed in a corner, so everybody else can tiptoe around their skeletons. People watch this video and you get a fucking pit in your stomach, then own it. Because it ain't going to go away until you do. And neither am I. And even when I die, I'm going to fucking be haunting people. Because I can. Because I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure my kids are okay. So if you threaten that peace, that's where the baneful shit comes out. This is me and my post-PTSD dark aspect, I guess. It's real, it's raw. I don't want to do this shit, but I know I'm supposed to. And no, Belial's not telling me to. And Satan is not telling me to. But I'll tell you one thing. I was left by myself to deal with that tonight. There's nobody in my environment strong enough to deal with me when I need to break down. And that's okay, because everybody in my environment is healing at their own pace, but it sucks to be strong. It sucks when you got the biggest fucking pair of balls, size of fucking Jupiter. You want to give those balls to that dude that comes in the room and he's got fucking helium balloons and he's like, oh, what do you, he's like, hey, take them, dude. I don't want this shit. I'm sick of being strong. But since I've made it this far, I might as well keep going. And if I want to keep going, I've got to continue to get the fuck up every single day and work out for 1.5 hours to 2 hours, which I do every day because I have to, because it mentally expands me. And I have my routine. I'm still going to be up the same time, even though it's almost fucking 2 a.m. Because I got shit to do. I've got cycles to break. I've got to be the warrior that I was denying. It's not about me. And it can be about you. It's fine if it is. But for me, it's not. I get to have this interesting journey. I get to take all this fucked up mess. And I get to transmutate it. And I get to show people this is what it's like working with the devil. This is my version. This is doing the hard fucking hell. That's that Azazel energy comes out. Azazel's really calm. And he's got a quiet demeanor. And this personal, like, silent power, but holy fuck, man. He's ride or die. When you say you want discipline in your life, you better fucking show up 1 hour early. Because you have that potential. I got the potential to show up 1 hour earlier than I'm supposed to, so he expects that. And when I'm ready to give up on that 10th push-up, I couldn't do like a proper push-up a few months ago. I was fucking... I'm like, man, I'm not doing these girl push-ups anymore. I'm doing 90 of those. I got to get the real shit. I couldn't even do one. Now I'm doing them. And when I get to my last set, and I'm at like 10, and they're decent, I'll give them an 8.5 out of 10 for my form. I'm ready to fucking throw in the towel. And I'm getting angry because I ain't ready to give it up yet. That's where Azazel comes in with this shit, with your shadow work, in my experience. He's there. It's weird as fuck, but they're there when I work out in this office. I got a small ass space to work out. And that's my time. If I'm not doing the filming, because some days I'll film and sometimes I'll work out. And if I can't work out here by myself, I'm downstairs with my kids or we're working out. They train twice a day. They're not fucking around. They put my ass to work too. And when I'm ready to give up, he's like, go for that fucking 11th. And I'm like, fuck that, I'm going to go for 12. And at that 12, that's where I collapse. You earned that collapse. And then you get back as quickly as you can and just try one more time and this fucking demon comes out of me. I get like this goofy ass looking shit. It's scary and stupid as fuck. And then I get this third wind. I'm already past the second wind. This is where I am right now. You know, I'm not in like the best shape in the world, but I'm fucking not doing too shabby for my age. And I go for it again. But fuck it, we're doing it again. And I work out to failure. I have to. I'm not working out for weight loss. I'm not working out to look cute. I don't care about looking cute. I'm fucking old and happily married and I'm cool. I'm content. I just want to be fun and wear fun clothes. That's a plus. But outside of that shit, I am mentally breaking my fucking shit every goddamn day. Because I have to. Because I have to in order to be calm. I've said this so many times because this just resonates and sticks with me. When Belial told me, you have to discipline the dragon within. Don't tame it. Don't bitch it out. And the only way I can do that is to fucking mentally break myself for expansion. It's not like mentally breaking down and feeling, it's like fucking battling yourself. No, you can do more than that. And if you can only do, I couldn't even do one, but I fucking tried all day long, every day. Every chance I got, I'm going to keep trying. And now I can do, and then I was able to do one. And I'm like, yeah, now my goal is to be able to do this shit flawlessly. Then I want to do one-armed. So hopefully by the end of the year, if I keep going how I am, I can get there. It's a personal goal. It's not even about ego. It's not about showboating. It's about my potential as a human being. It's about, I am going to decide how long I live, in terms of the quality of my life. I can't determine what happens, but I can determine the quality. It's fucking hard. I have discipline with food now. My family, we bake. The kids are learning how to cook like bosses, man. We're teaching them. We have 2 professional chefs. They love it. They're learning because they got a spark. Not to be a chef, but to just have these self-sufficient skills, man. I'm like, cool, let's do it. There's food, there's cakes, there's chocolate chip cookies. We give them out to loved ones and shit all the time. They're baking. Not all the time, because shit's kind of expensive, but like, seriously, baking is like expensive now. It sucks. But I gotta go have that. I got a little pot in my system. Ooh, cookies. It's cool, man. I get it. Trust me. I still love cookies. I'll still have something. But I have a discipline where I can disconnect from that vice. I didn't realize it was a vice because I was always like, I just like eating good. I wasn't like crying in the closet about it. Some people, I'm not even trying, I shouldn't even say that because maybe if you go through that, I'm sorry. I don't know. But you know what I mean? I always thought, I just like to celebrate with food. I grew up like that, and I'm a fucking chef and I'm a stoner, so that's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's a blessing and a curse. And I've been friends with like very talented, creative chefs. That's a blessing and a curse. My husband's a fucking like pro baker. It's super great, right? So anyways, the discipline that I've learned in these past couple of years, and for me, for this, it's like, I really say the past like 8 months been really prominent for me. I feel proud of myself. I feel like I don't care anymore. I feel like I'm breaking free out of this matrix system and I'm understanding who I am and what I am. And we are all that. I'm not special. I'm not fucking different. I've just understood it a bit quicker, I guess. And even though I'm not getting any younger, it's not a fucking flex. There's a freedom to that. There's a freedom of not giving a shit about whatever. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's like those people who like go to like some sort of medical school, do nothing with it, but they're doctor this. It's like, you're not. Who cares? Just fucking, who cares? Belial compassionately pulls hell out of you. And when you go through that thing, and you face that thing, and you face it with the same emotions that you felt, and you're going to think, why this? It will never affect you the same, because it won't. You'll be released. I was crying and breaking down, and I was alone. Everybody's asleep. And Belial, I felt like I needed somebody. I'm not going to go wake my husband up. I'm crying. He's got work and stuff. He's so great, and he's a fucking jerk at times, and I am. Like, let's keep it real. But in that time, Belial was right next to me, offering that energy. And I said, I thank you for this, but I know that you're there. I'm going to take this opportunity because there's a fire here. I want to walk through it. I want to just get this right. And then I saw Satan. I saw this aspect of Satan, but he had like, I never felt this, but like almost like a smile, but I didn't see a smile, but it was the energy of like this powerful hollow smile, but very subtle. I know this is how I read energy. I'm trying to explain it, so I'm sorry if I sound crazy. I know some people get this. I feel so fucking alone in this shit, seriously. But I felt like I did something right, like, because I expanded tonight. I faced something really terrible that I didn't want to think about. And I got frustrated because I'm like, why do I need to go through this? So the asylum was like a space for me to dump that in, and I can go there. I can go down that's not a tunnel, it's like a drain. It was murky, but it didn't feel uncomfortable. And it wasn't because it was comfortable in the murk. It was just earth and kind of gross and ugly, but full of vitality. And then in that asylum, it felt comfortable. I felt like that was the dumping place to have that energy. Maybe it's a dumping ground. And it was like metaphorically how Belial made me feel is I had access to this asylum, but I just let it go to negligence. And that's why everything was old and kind of falling apart. And that's why I was rattled. I was stuck as a patient in this because I was blind. I didn't realize it. And now I have a place that I can pop that energy to. So anyways, my tarot cards are still out. The Temperance, the Five of Cups, the Justice, and to clarify, the Six of Swords in reverse. I have to face this shit. So when I say, what else? What comes of this? Then I got the Six of Cups upright. It feels like healing process to me. It made sense. That whole journey made sense. And then I had my deck, and I was kind of like ready to put the cards away, and I cut the deck in half and looked at it, and the Wheel of Fortune came out, right? So I put it down. I noticed a card under it, and I glanced, and I'm just going to ignore it. Who hasn't done that? And I'm just shuffling the deck, just like subconsciously, just like kind of thinking what I'm going to do. And that same card flies out. Like, I don't know, 30 seconds later, the deck at this point is like completely shuffled through. And it was the Moon in reverse. Gosh, man. If you know tarot, you do. I don't want to explain every fucking card. I'm sorry. But it made sense. It's transmutating that and releasing those anxieties. I just explained it. And I had this thing where I'm like, should I film this? And it's always just up to me. There's never this like, yes, you should. It's really, if you feel like you should, you should. Like there's a safety in that. There's a safety in making choices. Because I need to be a big girl and make my own damn choices. And, but not do it out of fucking necessity. Like, fine, I'll do it. But actually for myself. I don't have experience doing that much. I have experience making all the being solutionary. I get fucking burnt out my whole life, sick of it. Sick to death. Just fucking sick of it. Well, then you better get good at it, because it ain't going away. Okay. Let's fucking do it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my deal with the devil. And that's why the devil puts you through hell. Because you know what? I've cried to God while I was going through that shit that popped up. That motherfucker never appeared. He just like took my tears like a psychopath. Ooh. Trauma. War-ass God. War God. Yahweh is a fucking war god. He's a falsified god. And the system is just completely like locked in. And people don't realize it. They're so close yet so fucking far. This life is supposed to be an opportunity for us to expand. But not in this bullshit fucking way where people are like, ascension, I feel no. It's like, fuck off. Feel your fucking emotions. Face that shit. Go through the fire. You'll come out and you'll be like immune to the fire, to the flames. You will become not fireproof. That's what we always try to do. We don't want to feel the fire. We'll become one with it. Like they did, but in our small ways. Hey, monks do it. For real. Like physically. I've seen videos of monks meditating in hot oil. Like boiling fucking oil. It goes to show you the power that we have. We are powerful, all of us, collectively. Not me, because I did some fucking spell. Oh, just because the devil didn't bless me with powers. The devil fucking collective showed me my potential. That's it. And also warned me, don't fuck it up and be a dickhead with your potential. Because you're going to ruin everything. Make a choice. Or stay where you are and let it eat you alive for the rest of your life. And die of fucking disappointment. I have been running away from this shit for so long. I don't even want to be in the public eye. Why am I doing this? Why does it matter to people? It's like, well, fucking somebody's got to, no, there's so many amazing people that I learned from and I admire in this community. And I just like to I like to comment sometimes. Sometimes I forget that I'm a content creator and I really get freaked out. Like, oh shit, I hope these people don't think I'm like trying to fucking promote I don't care. I'm so tired of this shit. But I'm not tired enough to give up. I'm tired, but I'm going to ride this psycho wave. I tell my kids that because they're going through their own growth. They've got things that might seem small to me, but they're big to them, and I understand that. So I tell them, ride that psycho wave. Don't run away from it. My son and I, my 17-year-old, we play chess together. We've been playing since he was about 12. And he's beat me twice in a row now. And today he beat me. I was so proud of him because we haven't played in a while. We haven't played in like 6 months. We're playing every week. We've been fucking slammed busy. It sucks. But while we were playing chess, I'm not that great. It's not good at Twisted. But I noticed he was like going back, I would make a move, he'd make a move, I would have 2 other counter moves over here. I don't do it to win. I don't want to make it easy on him. I like seeing his mind work. So I don't be like that where you go, I'm gonna fucking win. God, that's so pathetic when grown-ups do that. No, I love seeing his mind expand, but I tell him, I notice when you feel threatened, you start reverting backwards. And that's metaphorically to our own psychology. And he's super wise, dude. He was breaking it down. He's like, yeah, you're right. This. And then he came full force. He fucking wiped me out. And I was trying. He's so modest about it, too. He's not egotistical. Gosh, man. It's crazy. It's so cool because that happened. And chess is a really great game I like to play to clear my head, because it helps you kind of map out your life and how you'll tackle certain situations. It helps you tactically, but it helps you psychologically too. And it also helps you cognitively, and you get better at it. And then you start seeing the plausibilities of your opponent. And then you start wondering, what plausibilities do I need to work on next, right? And then you start wondering, should I play fucking mind games with them and let them think they're winning and then come around full circle and fucking annihilate them? There's all kinds of these sorts of like possibilities for expansion just playing a fucking game of chess. And it's cool when you're aligned with somebody, especially your kid, and they get it. But that's what I learned these things from Belial. Like, but he also gives, this is what's made me feel solid in this journey you guys have seen me go on. So if my opinion changes, it's because this is like live action occultism. I'm not just talking about years of experiences. Like, this shit's happening now. But there's a door that's open, whether it is aspects of our subconscious, and then that's proof that we really don't need fucking people, for those of us who don't have anybody strong enough to pick us up when we can't be the fucking everything. Or this is what's one aspect that's helped me understand that they're external. Belial will not only give me these great metaphors that are different in the way they're constructed, but then sometimes his energy will sit back and let me figure it out. And he likes to see how my mind works. And my mind is a bit sporadic, as you guys are witnessing, but it always comes full circle. His is very like charismatic and choreographed, but straight to the point. But this kind layer of energy, this fucking gem. Here's the seed, and it'll be like a map. Fuck. It really gives us an opportunity to see our own potential. I get freaked out sometimes with myself. I'm sorry if that sounds egotistical. I go, why the fuck do I get to be me? This is crazy. Why do I have to be so complicated? Why do I have to be so fucking this? Why do I gotta think about this shit? I can't. I'm not the type of person. I can't go back to kitchen work. I'll fucking mentally just be drained. And I can't handle a fucking office job. There's no way. I would just die inside if I did that shit. So this is what I'm doing. I'm making purpose for myself, so I can at least be a better version of myself, because my kids need that. And they deserve it. That's it. I'm too fucking stubborn to quit. And that can be at a fault. Sometimes you should retreat, like in chess. Sometimes it's necessary to retreat. Sometimes it's necessary to sacrifice in order to counter over here. And you gotta make those decisions. It gets fucked up if you start, I don't see chess pieces as real people, but if you start visualizing, like, what would you do if this was war? Then you're like, fuck, man, that is a burden. I'm sorry. It sucks, man. I'm so exhausted mentally, but I have a platform to blurt it out. I'm sharing all of this stuff, and I hope it's transparent. It's not about any stupid... It's not. It's just, it's plausible. I get to be fucking content. But there's a price for that. I have to heal. I get to make room energetically for success for myself. Success for me is, I just want property. And I'm fine talking about it. For those of you who are like, don't talk about you, you're more powerful than that shit. You can talk about your things. I'm not threatened. I know what piece of land that I would like to acquire. I want to have a nice farm and a goth garden full of black plants. And I want to have chickens. And I want to have tons of cats. And I am happy. I love being outdoors. I know what I am working toward. I want all of my kids to be able to not have to deal with this shit. These fucking oligarchs, the interest rates got raised again, and whatever government official of the fucking treasury here was like, well, people should just work more and fucking cut back and they'll get through it. And then he had a $25,000 lunch on taxpayers' dime. That was this today or yesterday. He makes $900,000 a year. You know, on paper. Probably a lot more. Sometimes I feel tempted to just fucking do a poverty curse on some of these motherfuckers that are like lower level, that you can match your energy. Because a lot of people don't understand. They'll go try to curse Trump and shit. It's like, you can't. You got to get to that, his spectrum where he is. It's not because he's better. It's like he's got more expansion. He's got, in different ways energetically, he takes up a lot of fucking space. He's freeing people's heads. He's fucking goofy. I sound dramatic, but we are at war. We either start evolving or we continue to decline. Our generation, those of you who are like older millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, all of us, you know, post-boomer fucking trauma, we've really had it kind of fucked up. Everybody has. But we got left in this weird, everything seemed good, but it wasn't. Then it got worse and worse and worse and worse. And now it's like, it's literally a dystopia. And people are still like, no, it's not. It's fine. Yes. It's like, how are you not seeing this shit? And because I'm outside of it now, I don't want it anymore. I told my partner, I said, I don't ever want to go to a grocery store ever again because I just can't stand doing it. I just want to do what we're supposed to do, barter and trade, which I do. It's so fulfilling. These small tasks, they're energetic exchanges. Gosh, I felt something like get my leg, like caress my leg. It's fucking working with demons. I felt something tickle my leg right now. Like, sometimes that can be a response, a psychoactive response to cannabis, but I don't have like a ton in my system. I have enough just to kind of take the pain away, man. Gosh, it's crazy. Even having this chronic pain, like, it's, hear me out and apply this to your own life, because I ain't the fucking main character, man. You're the main character. I hate that shit when people are like, oh, it's all the synchronicities in my life. I try to be like, in all of our lives, everything just lines up. Like, fuck it. You start to make sense of you. In my experience on this left-hand path, it starts to fucking make sense. And when you start to break out of this goddamn matrix, you go, fuck me, man. We are a lot more than we've been told. We've been sold this bullshit lie that we're just dumb and we're just fucking stupid and horny and hungry. And that's it. But they starve us of the substance. They energetically siphon, you know, the intimacy aspect of sex and those needs and desires, and the nutrition of food. They poison everything. And I'm sorry, look, eat what you have, okay? If all you have is fucking some weird shit from the dollar store, eat it. I've been there. I'm fine. However, the reality is it's full of fucking crap. And I understand. I've been on food stamps, man. I remember when these frozen burritos used to be $2 for a fucking $1. The lights just went dim. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna roll with it. They were $4 for a $1 back in the day, actually. I know what it's like. So, oh, my candle went out. That's why the lights went out. I get it. I'm not one of those people that's like, I only eat organic. No, man, I get it. I'm, at least in Australia, the food quality is a lot better. I don't have to read as many ingredients. That actually weirded my husband out. It didn't weird him out, it confused him. When I first came here, our first time we were at the grocery store together, he was like, I'm just kind of curious why you're reading the back of the labels for everything. And I'm like, because in America, everything's fucked and I have to be careful. And I might have, you know, struggled in certain aspects and stuff, but it doesn't mean that I was wanting to put certain shit in my body, you know, and I had kids and shit. So, like, I used to go to Whole Foods and spend extra, fucking, yeah. Like, I didn't want to, but I did, and I felt good about that. It's fucking overpriced bullshit. I should have just gardened. But, you know better when you're a chef. You learn all this shit. You start deep diving and going down the rabbit holes on your own time because you have to. It's part of the trade, is knowing what the fuck you're feeding people and knowing what the laws are and all this shit. It's crazy. So here it's a lot better for now, but things are starting to change. but a lot of food dyes are banned here. A lot of high fructose corn syrup is banned here. There's all kinds of things, right? But they try to add them in little by little, I've noticed over the years. It sucks. It's nice to be able to eat meat and know that it's not full of hormones and antibiotics, because that doesn't exist here from my understanding. So, yeah, the standards here in Australia for food are like far better. A lot of shit that we eat in America is like banned, you know? But eat what you have, because I've eaten it and I'm alive. So please, I tell people, please eat. Like, please eat. just please eat today if you haven't, and please eat. I feel a sense of peace working with demons, working with fallen angels. If it were deceiving and they were fucking with me the whole time, why am I improving? It's going to be taken away at some point anyways, because we're not going to be here forever. But in the meantime, I get to live this life but not indulge in all these vices and destroy myself. I also have to balance out not destroying myself by being detached from those things. I get to just expand. That's all it is. I just like the expansion. I like being able to decide how I utilize the shit that's been given to me in my life. The good and the bad. There's a lot of bad. I don't care. I was able to withstand it. My younger self always tried really hard to not be those things, or to do better, so maybe people will stop being hurtful to you, or, you know, all of this pressure I put on myself, and it just built up, and it would just explode. And then it would build up again. I got so tired. I went psychotic. When I cry these days, I didn't cry a lot before I moved here. And I didn't cry a lot until I got into this fucking path with demons. I would cry like once in a while, or, you know, during a fight or something like that. But I cry often right now. And it's outside of hormones and all that stuff. It's like these hard cries that feel okay and they don't feel pathetic. They're because I work on myself. So now when I cry, it releases it, and I get to just take it to that place. And then I'm free of it, and I feel lighter. My energy, I know that those of you, I hear a lot of shit. A lot of people are going through fucking healing right now. Whatever's happening with the planets, I'll have to talk to my daughter, because she's always telling me some planet's fucking fucked up and up another planet's ass, and that's why everything's crazy today. And it's always right. And anyways, everybody seems to be going through this deep-ass healing, and it's a really interesting journey. It's really interesting, and I just wanted to say thank you, because I feel really alone, and I'm okay with that, because I don't feel alone, and I don't want to take anybody's energy. You guys, like, really write lots of amazing responses and lots of amazing messages, and it's really overwhelming. I get told really nice things, and it's like, what the fuck? I've had people tell me nice things. It's not like I've never experienced that, but it's just a lot. There's so much impact, there's so much depth to people, and but I feel comfort. I don't search for my phone every time I'm crying. After I have my space and I let break down, I look in the mirror, I go through it. I go, okay, this is what we're doing. We're facing this. We're going to get through it, man. You got through everything. And then I had a message to tell you. I don't know from where. Maybe it was just from my higher self. You get to be in your company 24 hours a day. All the people that are always needing you, they get you whenever you're available. But you have access to that. For those of you who are always the fucking oracle, for always the sound advice, for always the fucking this, you get to have access to that 24 hours a day. Anytime you wake up, anytime you can't sleep, anytime you're having a bad day, anytime you're having a good day, you get to do that for you. Because you don't have a choice. But guess what? You can. And it works. And there's a fucking inner peace with that. There is an element of pride. But that element of pride can look ugly on people. So I don't recommend holding it too much. I just read this shit, people. I release those things. I have that power. I don't need to always need somebody to rescue me. I have access to that. Because when you're trying your hardest, no matter at what caliber, because there's people going through so much worse than me that are so much stronger than I am. If he were working with those people, he would know their capacity. He wouldn't hold it against me because mine's not as strong. If you're giving 10,000 fucking percent, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do is give 10,000%, guys. Whatever 1,000, 100%, 200%, whatever it is. But the thing is you can. Like, that's the thing I've been learning. My kids feel sorry for me. They don't see me doing this, like crying and shadow work. I talk to them a little bit, but they've been through hell with me. They've seen me go through hell. They've seen me deal with shit. They've seen me put myself through hell. We're just fighting for peace. That's all I've been doing my whole life, is fighting for fucking goddamn peace and expecting everybody to level the fuck up. Come on, everybody. And people can't. It's not your job. And there's areas that you're fucking weak as fuck and they're stronger and they're like, come on, snap out of it. Nobody's better than other people. A lot of people have weakness and they don't want to deal with shit, or they have boundaries. If I were to give any deep advice, this is just working on this path. Not necessarily Belial, or Azazel, or Leviathan, or Beelzebub, or Satan. Any infernal you're working with, or infernals, if you really do it like this, there's so much fucking peace involved. I feel content. I'm okay with my feelings, and I have more control over them. When I'm crying, I can let it all out, but then I can control when it's done. You don't have to overkill it. You let it out when you're releasing it. Just let it out. Don't hold it in and try not to cry. Just let it out and give yourself space to fucking break down or to face whatever you're going through. My gosh, I hear so many just sad stories. And I feel bad when I'm sharing my shit. I feel scared too. I'm like, I don't want legal drama. I'm not afraid of the people. I don't want to deal with it, but I'm not going to be silenced. This is my life. I get to show up and I get to show what I can do. But I have fucking peace in my life because of the devil. I learned what forgiveness is. Forgiveness isn't needing to forgive people. It's just having the choice if you want to, but having firm boundaries. It's more like globally in society, in modern society, we see forgiveness as like depreciating. We have to lower our boundaries to forgive this fucking asshole. It's not that. I got firm boundaries, but I understand. Therefore, I can forgive. That's it. I don't owe anybody shit. I got through all the really good times and all the fucked up shit on my own. So, I'm okay with that. And I'm not alone. I've got a beautiful family who does their best. I've got friends. I have this amazing platform, and I have it's hard because I want to just be friends with everybody, but I'm scared too because I know that I'm just a content creator, and I know that the minute I say something, maybe people are going to be pissed off, unfollow. I accept that. So it's a really hard balancing act for me on this small spectrum. I've gone through this before. I talk about it. I had a bigger platform a couple times. I've gone through having communities and building communities and totally just like running away because I felt like everybody's demanding, and it's just hard. I keep coming back to this. Thank you for giving me time and space to figure this out. It's not about me figuring Amber out right now. It's not about, the trauma and the shadow work. It's about all of this. It's about spirituality, myself, yourself, us collectively. I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'm like documenting it, I guess. I feel good. You can cry and be okay. It's just hard. It's a hard fire to walk through. But sometimes you don't have a choice in that. And we can't just gravitate to our vices or cling to people that are not healthy for us, or cling to just like fantasy or any of these things. We have to face the fucking music. I face the music and I get to understand who I am and the capacity. And I'm starting to understand we are really fucking powerful, and it's freaking me out. I've always done witchcraft. I've always been intuitive. I'm understanding now the energy so much fucking more working with infernals. It's crazy. I understand. I can feel the energy in the signature, and I can't articulate it. But this is a lot more than this shit. There's a lot more to human beings than just fucking 9 to 5 and getting stuck in traffic and getting fast food on the way home and watching fucking Netflix, being pissed off that it's gone up 5,000 whatever percent, allegedly, because if I say that, not that anybody cares, but still. And then we'll wake up and do it all over again. We are so conditioned and willing to do a bunch of shit we hate to do for the bare minimum, but not do that same amount of work within ourselves for like maximum output. And I understand. I am not fucking like sitting on my butt and eating snacks and watching Peppa Pig all day. I fucking wish. Sometimes it's like that, for sure. I am so busy and it's so hard for me to get this in. And no matter, I have so much support. Everybody wants me to do it in my household. They're like, oh, and I'm like, I got things to do, but I have responsibilities. But I get to kind of document this. So I'm thankful. Thank you for just hanging out at this podcast. I break down. I talk about some fucking dark shit. And I don't want people to think that I'm trauma dumping. I'm not. It's hard to talk about. But I feel like I'm entitled to, because I've overcame it and I'm overcoming things. And I'm doing it in a way that is bastardized and quote unquote demonized in society. It's just the devil's charming you. It almost makes you feel jaded when you feel like you're getting so close to like your truth and an aspect of truth. It's not that Satan's going to fix everybody's problems. And if everybody was a devil worshiper and everybody did this, the world, it's not. There's different things that we need to be exploring. Everybody has a specific reason and draw to their spiritual practice, because these aspects exist. The religious oppression exists too. That cage. I don't understand why people still fall for it. Every person, every family that's like been in the public eye, that's like this big Christian super, like I see those Cheeseman videos. What's the family's name that has like 500 kids and they were like pedophiles and shit, like that shit? They're all just fake and masking. It's like, you don't understand the psychology of that. Your kids are all fucked up now. Like nobody gets that. It's still glory be to God. They're righteous people. No, they dumb themselves down and they make themselves fucking hideous and plain to make you feel better about yourself. That's why it's good. It's so good to be modest. And I'm coming from a woman who dresses modestly. I just don't give a fuck. And no, I don't think that, like, I love when people don't dress modestly. It's just not my thing. I don't connect with it. It does nothing for me. I just feel fucking goofy. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope people understand. Working with the devil is fascinating. It's hard. This is hard. But it's so worth it. It's not the blessings and the crystals and the extra money and the this and the blah, blah, blah. No. I've been having resources taken from me so I can learn how to make things and do better and have more. It's wonderful. It's so much work, but it's wonderful. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to try to get some sleep.